Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you a little project I worked on called HRM or Home Resource Manager, and I'm going to do a quick overview of the application. So the purpose of this application is providing sort of like useful tracking for house resources and house tasks, right? I have, for instance, categories which I can use to group different things within the house. For instance, if I have kitchen, bathroom, rooms, in this case I'm mapping categories to different rooms within the house. I can add a new one, maybe something like a living room, and I'm able to create that category. This is more or less the look and feel. You get notifications for it, and now this category has been created. Once you have categories, you can also create resources, which are like the individual elements within the house. If I want to add a new resource, I don't know, I could do maybe like a stove, maybe. I have one and I have it in the kitchen, right? These, obviously you can use them however you want. Ultimately, they're just ways of grouping things within the house. But yeah, let's just create that resource. I could add a description if I wanted to, so let's just do a lot of ipsum for now. And you can see that these elements are shown here. I can also edit an existing resource in case I want to do like stove, or I don't know, remove the description for instance, and those elements will be updated, and I can also delete a resource if I need to. Now this resource has been deleted, and you get a message about it. And that's pretty much the organization tools, categories and resources. But using these two, you can start creating tasks, right? So let's say I need to make a bed. For that I might use the bed resource, just one resource in this case, and this is related to the room. And I'm gonna say this has a daily cadence, and I'm gonna start tomorrow. So if I create a task, now this one, the task is visible here, it has been created. I'm able to edit the task if I need to, but if I go back to the dashboard, you will now see that I get the tasks for today, right? So in this case it tells me that I need to do this task, and then I have a pending task for this day. You also get some information, for example the total resources that you have registered, and if you have some overdue task. If I mark this one as done, I get the task for the next day, but they are not counted as pending tasks, and I'm able to see all the tasks here. One important thing about tasks is I have different options for cadence. You can see maybe something just happens once, you can put it as one time, or maybe it happens monthly by day, right? So monthly by day you can say, oh, I want it to be the 21st of each month. I want this task to have that cadence, or I can also say I want it to be like the second Friday of each month. There's a lot of different cadences that hopefully match like your desired cadence for each task. And then there's also another section called boards, which is just like a quick way for you to write down notes. So you might do something like a grocery list, right? And here you have a rich text editor. You're able to update the name if you need to, like how do you say, like supermarket list. You're able to update the name. You're able to delete if you want to, and then it shows you a rich text editor which you can use. Let's say I need to add a header, so I'll do supermarket list, and then I'm able to add to-do items. So maybe I need to buy bread, I need to buy cheese, I need to buy ham, right? And I'm able to mark them as done as well. and this is automatically saved. So if I were to refresh, go into this board, you can see that the changes have been automatically saved. So those are the boards, but if you go to the dashboard, you can actually have like a quick access to those boards, especially if you're in like the supermarket of something and you want to access that information quickly. Then you're able to do that really quickly through through the dashboard. That's pretty much all when it comes to features. I also have light mode. Basically, I'm able to toggle the appearance. I'm gonna toggle in 3, 2, 1. You can see that it's also like light mode compliant. Like all of the views should be light mode compliant. And then also I have the possibility of going to settings, where here I'm able to change my time zone. So that was one of the cool things about this project, was learning and managing different time zones and how to store that data, how to manipulate that data. So you can change the time zone if you want to, and yeah, I would say that's pretty much all of the features. I'm also able to, like, if I log out, I'm able to go into the login and the sign up. For the sign up, it requires basic information. Let me just quickly fill in all this data. You can see that here I'm able to set the time zone. It defaults to Bogota because that's where I'm currently at, but it will dynamically change depending on your location. And I'm going to try to sign up. Hopefully, yeah, we got some of the error management here, where we get error states, but they're not generic error states, but they are field-based field-based errors, meaning that you get information about, in this case, that the username specifically was already in use, and you get inline errors for each form, or for each form input. The same for all of the different fields, but yeah, that's also login, sign up. You have the possibility of toggling appearance, and then I just have a simple landing, which is still built in progress. I already say it's still in progress while I'm building these, or while I'm recording this video. But yeah, I would say that's pretty much the whole application when it comes to like the features and things you can do with it. Another thing that this project has when it comes to the software engineering side, it's the architecture for it uses a lot of dependency inversion. So by doing this, we're able to have more meaningful and useful tests, and easier to create tests, where we're able to test the application in an end-to-end manner, or not really end-to-end, but as close as you can get to an end-to-end without having to use the real dependencies, right? So there's a really strict boundary between external dependencies and the app itself, and having these really strict boundaries allows to create integration level tests which are really close, super close to the end-to-end level. So you end up with really useful tests, right? You're able to validate forms just from a user perspective, right? You're not testing the implementation, you're testing the UI elements or the calls to the API. So that was also something worth noting about this project, that through the power, let's say, of dependency inversion, we were able to create more meaningful tests. So yeah, something to note when it comes to this project.